Hello everyone, this is Gage from Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another Third Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. This one is a 2 versus 2 pitch battle, and it's actually an elves versus dwarves match no less, which should be quite fun to see. This one was sent to me by Isengard Mech, so a big thank you to him for sending me this replay. So without any further ado, we can go ahead and go into the army compositions, beginning with his own. As you can tell, he's going to be playing as the Realm of Mirkwood. He's got a couple units of the Thurn Tower, as well as 2 units of the Hiri Peng, 3 units of the Megali Aaron Light Infantry, as well as, I believe, 2 units of the Hiri Oth, or maybe it looks like 3 units of the Hiri Oth, as well as, I thought he had a unit of Hiri lying around here somewhere, but maybe not. He's got 2 units of the Hethel Tower who are who have dual axes, I believe. Yeah, you can see, but they're not actually AEP, I don't think. He also has a unit of the Maethar Elaskelen Javelins, going to be very good, of course, against the Dwarves, and a unit of the Ire Arthalion DN with very, very elite infantry unit. Again, should do quite well against the Dwarves, for the most part. Over here you can see his ally, who is, like I said, going to be playing as another Elven faction. It is actually going to be Khazar, and he's going to be commanding the Realm of Lothlorien. He's got 2 units of the Lothlorien Mounted Company, I believe only 1 unit of the Lothlorien Axes, and I think 3 units of the Lothlorien Blades, somewhere, yeah, they're all here in this line, as well as 2 units of the Lothlorien Archers and 1 unit of Sindar Archers, who, as you can see, are already firing, although they're not actually in loose formation, which is a little bit concerning, to say the least. He also does have a unit of Galadrim Nobles, a unit of the Karasquad Guardians, as well as a Ballista, and 2 units of the Maethar Elaskelen. So we can now go over here to the first of the Dwarven armies. And it's actually kind of funny, we've actually got the Dwarves hiding in the forest, not the Elves. But he's going to be Varun 658992. He's got a couple units of Axe Guard of Erebor, 1 here, 1 on the other side. He's got a number of the Erebor Legionaries, I believe 2 units of the Ironfoot Crossbows, 1 of the Obsidian Guard for his general. He's also got 2 units of the Mercenary Cavalry, as well as 2 units of the Ironfoot Wargoats. Also, I forgot to mention that Asgard Mech does have 1 unit of cavalry, and that's it. He's got 1 unit of the Royal Quinn Amon Lang. Yes, down here. Here's the Hiri Lang. He's actually got 2 units of them here. There's a nice little ambush fort right there. I did not actually see that. But yeah, over here, we've got the rest of the Dwarven forces. At least we can see some Erebor Legionaries, and then again that second unit of Axe Guard of Erebor. You can see he's also got some crossbows hanging here with their stakes out. But we'll see most of his army later on once they actually come out of the forest. If they come out of the forest, that is, he may wait for the elves to come to him. And over here we've got a Dwarven player kind of making a nice little defensive formation here, I guess, kind of boxing up, unfortunately. But I mean, it's kind of what dwarves do sometimes, I guess. It's kind of unfortunate to see, but I mean, he does have an artillery piece, so I can kind of understand that, but I don't understand why he has to, like, completely box up here and form a pentagon, so I mean, not totally sure about that. But anyway, we've got War King here commanding Erebor, of course. He's got a unit of the Highborns of Erebor, some Obsidian Guard up there, as well as the Sons of Durin, so a ton of elites. He's got 2 units of the Ironfoot Halberds, 2 units of the Axe Guard of Erebor, 1 here, 1 elsewhere, 2 units of Ironfoot Crossbows. Looks like 2 units of the Ironfoot Pikes, some Ironfoot Warriors, sorry. There's that second unit of Axe Guard of Erebor. He's got the Erebor Legionaries, some more Ironfoot Warriors, and then his Catapult. Without any further ado, I think we can go ahead and start this battle off. Thankfully, for the elves that is, Khazar does have a Ballista, so he may be able to actually force the dwarves to not really camp here, and even if he's not going to be able to force them to stop camping, with that Ballista he may be able to actually take out the Dwarven Catapult, though not before it's going to get a volley off. We're going to see a nice little volley here. Oh yes, very, very nice, going straight into those Lothlorien Archers, as well as hitting some of those Maethar Elaskelen in the back there. Unfortunately, Khazar does not have his archers in loose formation, and that is going to make him suffer very grievously to any kind of incoming skirmish fire. Especially on the, I think it's normal unit settings that this battle is on right now. So every kill really does count, especially with skirmishers. You can see he was trying to target the Ironfoot Halberds over here. You can see some crossbows moving up, as well as those Axe Guard of Erebor. I'm really hoping the Ballista will be trying to target the Catapult, and yes, there goes one of the Catapults there. But we should actually take a look over here really quickly and see how things are progressing. You can see the Dwarven advance. Yeah, the Dwarves are, of course, going to be advancing very slowly here. And as you can see, Isengard Mech is a very, very skirmish, like, archer-heavy build, which, I mean, that's normally what elves will always do. But arrows aren't really going to be super useful against dwarves, who have got really, really high armor, as well as good shield values. You can see he's got some Ironfoot Warriors for what mine looks like. So, if anything, he's probably going to have to end up kiting, which is going to maybe be rather difficult because Varan or whatever actually did bring a decent amount of cavalry for playing the dwarves. Especially because Isengard Mech only brought 1 unit of cav, whereas the dwarves over here brought 4 units. So if he tries to kite, he may find his archers and the rest of them are getting run down very quickly by that Dwarven cavalry. The Ironfoot Wargoats aren't super fast, but they have a super nice charge. Anyway, over here, we can see the Lothlorien mounted company going around either flank here. Maybe going to try to get a charge off on these Ironfoot crossbows, who are really doing a nice job shooting down the Lothlorien archers. Might be difficult though. It might be kind of hard to try to charge into the Ironfoot crossbows, but he really should not just be standing here, because just standing here is going to provide a super good target for these crossbows. You can see they're already giving a nice volley to them, especially because the Lothlorien mounted company, they have a decent shield, I guess, but they're very lightly armored, so they can get wrecked really quickly by something like crossbows. Even normal archers will do a really obscene amount of damage to them. The ballista is still firing. It looks like they was able to completely take out that Dwarven catapult, and will now probably be just targeting, like the Sons of Durin and the rest of the pikes over here. And ooh, a nice charge here downhill into the crossbows as well as into the Obsidian Guard. Obsidian Guard won't take many losses to that, but the crossbows will. Also, the Axe Guard rushing forward here. Not totally sure why he's keeping all those forces back there. If he's going to rush forward only a few units at a time like this, he will lose. He needs to rush everything forward at one time, otherwise he will not do good at all. Sindar Archers against the Axe Guard is going to be close. The Sindar Archers are very low numbers, but they have really good skill. I believe they also instill fear into their enemies. But over here, you can see that the Dwarven cavalry is going around the flanks here of Isengard mechs, as well as the front line fight has begun here. Ironfoot Warriors and Axe Guard we're going to easily be able to beat the Megalith, especially with some cavalry support. But it looks like the cavalry is going to charge right into the backs of these Hiri off here. And this is going to be a nasty charge. Oh, never mind. It's going to be just as nasty over here. Going to definitely rout this unit. And oof. So far, Isengard mech's not really looking super good. You can see he's heavily targeted in here against the Airborne Legionaries. And yeah, the Dwarven infantry just so strong, pushing straight through most of these elves. Although it looks like he was able to see off one unit of mercenary cavalry, the other one is behind and also probably going to follow suit. His Rookbin Ammon like to have taken a lot of losses, and I think I just saw some bolts from the... It looked like it was maybe the Blacklock Engineers, and yes, here they are right here. So he's got some Blacklock Engineers in the fight as well, very damaging. Over here, the ambushing force. Looks like both units of Hiri Lang were maybe committed. One looks like I might have been completely taken out. And the other is still trying to deal with these Axe Guard Airborne. Again, the Dwarven infantry, very good. And even against the high skill of most of these Elven units, the Elves are going to struggle very heavily, especially with these constant cav charges in the rear, although a nice Javelin volley, though, from the Mythic going right into those heavily armored Ironfoot Wargoats. Also, it looks down here like the Hiri Oth, going to be getting charged from the Obsidian Guard, but they are fighting now against some Axe Guard Airborne and some Ironfoot Warriors. So here comes some Ira Arthalion Enanwaith to kind of help out. But yeah, those Ironfoot Wargoats really proving troublesome. You can see Isengard mechs trying to target them down with his archers. But again, it looks like it's going to be a very nasty fight over here, to say the least. Over here, the Hiri Lang and the Axe Guard Airborne are kind of nullifying each other, though it looks like the Hiri Lang are probably going to end up losing that fight. But over here, I do kind of like this 2v2. It's very chaotic so far. Yeah, over here, it looks like the other Dwarven players just really struggling. You can see that first wave was completely taken out, and that is exactly why you never, ever, under any circumstance, want to attack in waves. If you're going to attack, you need to fully commit, otherwise you will lose. And even still, he's still advancing in kind of waves. You can see he's got some Ironfoot Halberds and some Obsidian Guard here. The Obsidian Guard are probably going to get javelined right in the face. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, you can see he's trying to move back with his forces, but he took a lot of loss to the Ballista. And again, that's just very unfortunate that he's attacking in waves. Although over here, you can see that the battle is still continuing. And again, now it looks like, now that the cavalry, for the most part, is all dead from the, what's the name, Varun, looks like the Elves are starting to pull this back a little bit. You can see the Dwarven infantry starting to kind of get stopped over here now. They did make a very nice push early on, but they're so far just getting stopped overall by the skill of the Elves. It looks a little bit even more in other places, but even over here the Obsidian Guard aren't doing super well, though they were able to kill, looks like, most of the Hiri off. Here comes some Hiri Lang, and then again, the IR Arthalion and with very good, though they are very outnumbered. And there are also still a lot of crossbows. There are still the Ironfoot crossbows and the Blacklock Engineers and another unit of Ironfoot crossbows. And it looks like most of the archers of Isengard mechs are out of ammo, and because his cavalry is all dead, he can't exactly run down these crossbows that easily, which means he's going to have to just chase them down with his foot infantry, which is going to be very deadly for him. It's going to be very costly, I would think. Heavily Tower right here, down to only 5 men remaining. So far, though, it's looking close. It's not like the other side. Over here, it's definitely looking good for the Elves. yeah, you can see the next wave, rather, of the dwarves charging in here. Nice charge. Gonna be able to get a decent amount of kills here on the Lorien axes as well as Lorien blades. These Lorien blades are actually facing the wrong way, unfortunately. And over here we got these Sons of Durin going to be able to butcher their way through most of these elves over here, although with the elite pikes as well as the Centaur archers it's going to be difficult. The Galadriel nobles also in melee, super deadly in melee of course, and the cavalry constantly charging. I think the cavalry is probably going to end up being the deciding factor over here, at least in this fight, because they're just going to be able to constantly cycle charge the crossbows to death and then turn right around and go straight to the back of the Axe Guard of Erebor and the halberds and such. I mean, if the halberds turn around they'll be able to give damage, but they won't be able to turn around that easily since they are currently in a fight. The Matrix that's going doing well. The Ballista definitely paid for itself by taking out that Dwarven Catapult, and unfortunately these Ironfoot Pikes are not rushing forward into the blades, so it's not looking super great. But yeah, here the Elven line is looking very thin, and yeah, over here he had to commit another unit, as well as, oh yeah, the cycle charges over here. There's no pikes or spears or anything over here, but the cavalry is going to have a field day over here charging into the back of these Erebor Legionaries. So it looks like that will probably result in a resounding victory for Lothlorien. But over here, it's still looking pretty close. It's not looking super close anymore, actually, now that I said that, because there actually is a little bit of cavalry left over from Isengard next. He has got his Rockland Elven Link. And with these cav charges into the last of these crossbows, it looks like this is pretty much going to be the end of the replay. So just a little quick 2v2 for you guys. I hope you guys don't mind that it was super short. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But again, big thank you to Isengard Mex for sending it to me. I believe he actually sent me a couple other replays as well, so I'll probably look at those after this one. Yeah, you can see the Ironfoot crossbows routing. There goes the general of Varan. I think I can never remember. Yeah, Varan. No, Varan. My bad. So that'll be the end of his army, and over here we can see the final stand of these elves. Looks like they're actually going to be able to fight for another 1,000 frames, surprisingly enough. I mean, they do have a decent amount of troops over here, but they're about to get surrounded. And with all these cav charges going in back and forth, it's not going to be that much longer. Oh, and there goes the general as well. So it looks like that'll pretty much be the end of the dwarves. I do definitely want to continue my elves versus dwarves series. I've tried multiple times to do it, but it's just very hard, especially in sieges. It's very difficult to find out a good way to balance things in terms of actual money. So it's just gonna be difficult, but I really want to continue that again because I really did enjoy that series. I'm not sure if any of you guys remember that, but I did do an Elves vs. Dwarves series maybe like a year ago, I think is when it... Oh, it wasn't really a year ago? Wow, maybe it was. But yeah, still, I really would like to continue that because it was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And that was, I think I started it back when the dwarves were only just the one faction. It wasn't Erebor and Khazad-dûm, it was just the dwarves. And they were, like, their entire roster was AP, because back then even one-handed axes were AP. That was really fun. That was also, I think, back when the elves were also extraordinarily strong. So it was nice. It was like a Battle of the Titans almost. Still, there goes an admit defeat from Working. That'll be the end of this replay. So we can go ahead and speed up until the end screen. Looks like going to be a little bit of chasing down of troops. And yes, that is going to be the end of this replay. The most kills went to Isengard Mex, but not by many. His ally was not far behind. Working really did struggle there. Again, attacking in waves, you can see right there, does not result in anything good. Varun didn't do bad either. We can take a quick look at the exact kills. The IRR Thalion getting 98 kills, and on normal unit settings that is actually very good. Especially against dwarves, where there's mostly a lot of leads. Looks like his Rockman Unlike did pretty good as well. So yeah, attacking waves never going to be a very good thing to do. However, it was still a fun battle, so I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you did not, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next one. So farewell wherever you fare, till your eyes receive you at your journey's end.